The land that is now Pakistan echoes with the whispers of ancient civilizations. Long before the birth of Christ, the Indus Valley Civilization flourished here. It was a beacon of urban planning and innovation, with cities like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa standing as testaments to its glory.
Centuries passed, marked by the rise and fall of empires. The Mauryans, the Guptas, and the Kushans all left their mark on the region. The arrival of Islam in the 8th century AD proved to be a turning point. The Arab conquest of Sind brought a new faith and a new culture to the region.
Over the following centuries, Islam spread throughout the area, shaping its social and cultural landscape. The Delhi Sultanate, with its seat of power in Delhi, extended its sway over parts of present-day Pakistan. Later, the Mughal Empire, renowned for its grandeur and artistic brilliance, held dominion over much of South Asia, including the lands that would become Pakistan.
The Mughals, with their Persianate culture, left an enduring legacy on the region's architecture, language, and cuisine. But their empire, vast and powerful as it was, eventually began to decline. Into this power vacuum stepped a new player from afar, the British East India Company.
What began as a trading enterprise, the British East India Company gradually extended its control over the subcontinent. Through cunning diplomacy and military might, the company subjugated local rulers and asserted its dominance.
The Sepoy Mutiny of 1857, a fierce but ultimately unsuccessful uprising against British rule, marked a turning point. In the aftermath of the rebellion, the British Crown assumed direct control of India, ushering in the era of the British Raj.
The British, eager to maintain their grip on this vast territory, adopted a policy of divide and rule. They exploited religious, ethnic, and cultural differences to prevent a united front against their rule. Muslims, once the ruling class under the Mughals, found themselves increasingly marginalized under the British administration.
The British introduced Western education, legal systems, and administrative structures. While these reforms brought about significant changes, they also contributed to a growing sense of unease among India's Muslim population. Many Muslims felt that their identity, their values, and their aspirations were being ignored in the emerging order.
It was in this climate of uncertainty and discontent that the seeds of Muslim nationalism were sown. By the dawn of the 20th century, a burgeoning sense of Muslim identity began to take shape. Muslim leaders, intellectuals, and activists increasingly articulated the need for safeguards for their community's rights and interests within the framework of a Hindu-majority India.
This movement found expression in the formation of the All India Muslim League in 1906. The League, initially focused on safeguarding Muslim interests, would eventually become the standard-bearer for a separate Muslim homeland.
The idea that Hindus and Muslims constituted two distinct nations, with their own distinct cultures, aspirations, and destinies, gained increasing traction. This notion, which came to be known as the two-nation theory, argued that a united India would inevitably lead to the marginalization of Muslims.
Allama Muhammad Iqbal, a renowned poet and philosopher, was one of the most eloquent proponents of this theory. He envisioned a separate Muslim state in northwestern India, where Muslims could live in accordance with their faith and culture.
Muhammad Ali Jinnah, a lawyer and politician initially committed to Hindu-Muslim unity, eventually came to embrace the two-nation theory. Under his charismatic leadership, the Muslim League gained immense popularity, particularly in the Muslim-majority provinces of British India. The demand for Pakistan, a separate homeland for the Muslims of the subcontinent, became the rallying cry of the Muslim League and its supporters. As the Second World War raged across the globe, the demand for independence in India reached fever pitch. The British, weakened by the war, were no longer in a position to hold on to their prized colony. The stage was set for the tumultuous events of 1947.
Despite attempts to find a formula for a united India, communal tensions, exacerbated by political machinations, spiraled out of control. The partition of British India into two independent states, India and Pakistan, became the only viable option.
On August 14, 1947, Pakistan emerged on the world map, comprising two wings, West Pakistan and East Pakistan, separated by thousands of miles of Indian territory.
The partition triggered one of the largest mass migrations in human history. Millions of Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs, caught on the wrong side of the newly drawn borders, were uprooted from their homes. The partition was accompanied by horrific violence and bloodshed, leaving an indelible scar on the collective memory of the subcontinent.
Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the Quaid-e-Azam, great leader, became the first Governor-General of Pakistan. However, the joy of independence was tempered by the daunting challenges that lay ahead. The new nation had to grapple with the influx of millions of refugees, the integration of princely states, and the establishment of a functioning government and infrastructure.